All right, so now we're going to work on a mock-up in Photoshop. So I am going to screen capture, which on a Mac is Shift Control Command 4. It gives me this target icon as I scroll across and I let go with my mouse. Now that means it is on my clipboard. So I'm going to come into Photoshop, say File New. It is automatically creating the pixel size of what's on my clipboard. Homepage, mockup, create, and now I can say edit, paste. All right, so now I have the screen capture of the website in Photoshop as a layer. All right, so I know that I'm going to recreate this portion, the hero image portion. So one thing that I might do is take my rectangle selection tool and draw it across where that picture is. And I'm probably going to duplicate this layer. And then I'll say select inverse and mask. Now I'm going to turn off this layer. So you can see what I've done is I have used a mask. So black is hiding, white is showing. So I am showing the portion of my browser and of the home page. And I've made a copy of the full screenshot so that I can use it as a reference. All right, so from a previous video, so I am going to drag a ruler down and put it at the bottom of where my text is going to go. Now I'll turn this, and I'm also going to bring it from the left and right so I can see that part of the grid. All right, so if I was recreating this, I would go to my text tool. I would change my fill to white. I know my text is Helvetica New because we explored that together in an earlier video. Marking it not fun. Okay, perfect. And I know that my size is 112. Find your path. So I'm going to select my text, triple click to get it all selected. Come into my type characters. I'm going to go ahead and put auto in, which is too big. I am going to left align it. My Helvetica New, instead of regular, I think I should be in bold. Maybe condensed bold, condensed black, perhaps looks closer in mine. All right, and I'm going to bring it in tighter, so maybe 120, maybe less, 112, maybe 100, maybe 90. Okay. I see that lines up pretty exactly, right? So if I turn off, well, we're not going to see it because it's white, but it's pretty lined up. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is make a paragraph of text for the lead paragraph below. So I'm going to click and drag here. For this one, it is going to be Helvetica New Regular, and the size that we found was 24. All right, and this time I'll set it to auto. It might need to be a little tighter. We'll say it's 28 for right now. I don't know, maybe it's 30. That's a detail that I didn't quite look up, but we could. Okay, but that's looking pretty close. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and type in, you'll do your best work and make the most of a career that matters at the WVU College of Media you'll be able to work on passion projects that also make an impact on the world, period. So we will switch back to our movement tool, line it up. It's looking pretty good. So we'll say that works for this mock-up. All right, so we have our button to make. So for that, we would go into our rectangle. Up here, this is our rounded curve option. So we know that we found it was 4.8 rounded. So we're going to go ahead and draw it. I can choose my fill from up at the top. I grabbed the code, which was 006FE6. Explore our programs. So I'm going to select my text, say explore our programs. It is smaller text. I can always come back to my file here and inspect. Come here and I can see it is size. Scroll over, so I'm in computed, font size 20. Okay. All right, so I have all of these items in place. I might make my rectangle okay, so let's see. We can always click a color and use the eyedropper to get our gold. The gold, it said, was EAA00, so you can see it's not quite exact. Okay. So I might draw my rectangle. I see I still have a rounded corner, so I'd come back to 0. That would make it, I'll have to come into my white. Okay, so even though I change it here, you can grab, has the little circles in the corner, and now I can pull it up, and now that would be a 0. Okay, edit, transform path. It's going to be a skew. There it is, so height, negative. There we go. And it might not have been 33.75, it might have been slightly different. So I would need to double check on that one. But we can definitely make our diagonal line in Photoshop here as well. All right, and we can drag our layers so we know that the diagonal line goes behind. All right, and then let's say that we have found a picture. So in this case, let's use a different picture. Let's use this picture. So we would, or I've already downloaded one. We're going to use this picture. All right, so I would scale. So you can see I've put my picture below. So that's the mock-up. This is the one where we have blocked out so I can see through where the hero image is. And now I have my new image there. All right, so that is essentially your mock-up. You'll notice that there is a gradient that is added. So if I come into inspect again, and I take out the picture, and we take out the background color, you can see that there is this gradient. So you can also click on each item, and I could say display :none, and it would start hiding items for me. I could take this button up here, say display, tab, none, click here, click on my text, display, none. Okay, so now I could screen capture again, so Shift Control Command 4, that gradient, paste it. I can click its corner, that's going to let it get the transform controls, unclick constrained ratio because I want to stretch it down to fit over my picture. Then I'm going to change the layer blend to multiply and bring down the opacity some. And we're going to want to drag this layer to just right above the picture, right? Because we want the text to be white on top. And maybe I'll bring the opacity a little bit again. All right, so you can see that brings in the same type of effect that is happening in our live site. All right, so those are some tips. Command semicolon hides my rulers, and that would be a nice way that I could mock up a new design, be able to quickly show a new concept for the School of Media if this was my client as a designer.